Hey, it's Marlon Smith here. I'm so excited to be here. Oh my goodness, Momentum Call, August 27, 2017. This is exciting. We are ready to rock and roll. I know we got people all over the world. And Sergio, my man, huh? This young man, he's on a mission. And I just want to, just say thank you because he's keeping the momentum going. Global Youth Leadership Summit 2017 in July, San Diego was phenomenal. But the question is, how do you continue? How do you continue the momentum? I mean, let's be honest. We all get excited. We get pumped up. We get jazzed. But when it comes down to it, what happens next? And I think, as you remember, repo, right? R is repetition. What you do with repetition, it then becomes E, easy. Once it's easy, it becomes P, a pleasure. And once it becomes a pleasure, you want to do it more, O, often. And once you do it often, it becomes a habit. So the question is, how are you creating repo? How are you creating these habits, these winning habits in your life so that it doesn't just be a once-off, but it becomes a lifestyle? And I think these momentum calls are so important because what it does is it allows us to really connect and really, really stay plugged in. Because let's be honest, iron sharpens iron. It's one thing to learn something, but it's another thing to live it on a daily basis. Are you actually doing what we talked about? Do you have your goals written down? Did you go through the Living with Purpose workbook? I mean, these are all things, strategies for helping you reinforce winning habits. And so I'm going to turn it over to Serge. But before I do, I want you to go ahead and just type, in the chat box, who you are, where you're watching it, watching from, what country or what city. Because, what I love about these webinars, this technology is that it doesn't matter where you are. We can all stay plugged in. I know so many of you are watching the recording and, again, go ahead and post on our Facebook group page, how did you feel about this experience? How did you feel about this webinar? Because again, we are here, we are connected. And so I'd like for you right now to go ahead and post, where you're watching from or, where you're viewing this webinar, what city, what country, because it just will be really great. And I'm gonna turn it over to Serge and he's gonna, just, do a shout out as far as, who we got. And then he'll give you some housekeeping, how would you say, housekeeping guidelines as well. All right, Serge, I turn it over to you, brother.
What's up, everybody? All right, I'm excited. So for questions, if you guys have questions for Marlon, there's a couple different places you can put them. As long as I see them, it's all good. You can send me a Facebook message. Right on YouTube, I'm pretty sure there's a live chat that you guys can post. You can post in the event, in the grads group, wherever you want. Just make sure you tag me. And if you want it to be anonymous, send me a message and just write that. Again, like Marlon said, in the event or in the grads group, post where you're from, what time it is, wherever you are. And then Marlon's going to have a PowerPoint. And then at the end, we'll queue up all your questions. So make sure you get them in. Don't wait. And back to you, Marlon.
Hey, thanks a lot, Serge. I really appreciate it. I'm really, really excited because, I think one of the things that's so important is for all of us to understand it's all about staying plugged in. It's all about each one of us stepping up and being our best. And, having said that, one of the things that I think is very important when you go throughout the world, you come to find out that, wow, there's certain people that are really playing all out. There's certain people that are really saying, you know what, my life matters and I want to make a difference. And so I just really am very, very excited to be here with you. I'm very excited from the standpoint that I realize that in order for us to be our best, it really requires each one of us stepping up to being our best. And so, with that, I want to go ahead and just share my screen with you. We're going to go ahead and get into a little, PowerPoint presentation because I think visually, a lot of us are visual learners. And so, with that, let's go ahead and rock and roll and just have some fun, huh? Have some fun. So anyways, let's go ahead and do this. Boom, boom. And
so while Marlon is setting that up, he's transitioning, give Marlon 30 seconds to get his PowerPoint up. The reason that these momentum sessions were created is for you guys to feel like GYLS can continue throughout the year. It's not just a week that we go to once a year and then you go back home. It's about keeping it going. And without further ado, he's back. So here you go, Marlon. It's back to you. PowerPoint is up.
All right. Well, thank you, Serge. And, Living with Purpose. This is a momentum call, August 27th, 2017. And, it's yours truly, Marlon Smith. And, one of the things, who am I? I mean, many of you know I'm just a fun loving guy that really is all about saying, you know what? Our time is now. It's time to step up. And you know my story. I've been actually speaking for 25 plus years. I resigned from Hewlett Packard as a systems engineer back on January 15th, 1992. And one of the things I like to share with that is that I want you to understand there is greatness within you. I don't just think this, I know this. But now it's a question of, okay, what do I need to do to maximize my potential? What do I need to do to be my best? And that's why I talk about journaling. Journaling is so important because when it's all said and done, there's greatness within you, but sometimes we can get off track. We can lose focus. And, this is one of my favorite slides. I mean, look at those children. To me, those children say it all. Look at those smiles. I just love it because you remember as a child, you too, were just excited about life and, anything was possible. And then what happens? We get older and all of a sudden our dreams are strangled and choked away from us. Well, I'm here to say, listen, it's possible. It's possible. And, many of you saw my daughter, my son, I know, it's a few years ago, these pictures. But, I just love my kids and they keep me centered. They really do. Because they allow me to say, you know what? Wow, let me keep that childlike spirit. Many of you have always commented, Jade is very, girl-like and, she's very particular. And then Corey, he is just a wild young man. He's got an old spirit, but he's a fun-loving kid. And look at that haircut, I tell you. So my point is that, but my children really allow me to say, you know what? I want to be youth-like. I want to keep that fun spirit, that fun nature. And I'm encouraging you, what do you need to do to get centered? What do you need to do? For me, what I do is, I journal, I exercise, right? I meditate. For me, I read the Bible. I pray. I connect with my loved ones, right? And what's your way of getting energy? Because the truth of the matter is, look, life is like a maze. It really is. Today is August 27, 2017. We're striving to get to our goals and our dreams. But when it really comes down to it, it's all about you making healthy choices. It's all about you saying, you know what, I got to do better. I got to stay focused. And there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be challenges. But that's why you have to stay plugged in. I mean, what are you listening to? Inspirational videos? Are you listening to podcasts that uplift you? Are you reading books that really motivate you? Because if you look at this maze right here, yeah, success is at the end, right? But success is never a straight path. There's always going to be some challenges or roadblocks or trials and tribulations that are going to really cause you to get off track. But you got to remember this, a winner never quits, a quitter never wins. I'm here to tell you everything happens for a reason. Listen, I've gone through some challenges just like you have. But I'm here to tell you what doesn't break you makes you stronger. And your misery, right? Your misery, when you're going through it, it can become your ministry, right? Your tests can become your testimony. And so I'm sharing this with you because this picture right here, it just keeps me anchored to say, you know what? As long as I stay the course, as long as I just keep on keeping on, right? Yeah, things are not going to always go as I planned. But I'm here to win. And even when things throw me a curveball, I always say to myself, what can I learn from this? And so with that, that's really what this is all about. And you remember GYLS, the Global Youth Leadership Summit? We learned so many strategies. We had our teams, we had our team leaders, right? The alumni, they were off the chart. We bonded. We heard, presenters like Kathy and Anand and Felix and Scott, right? I mean, it was just phenomenal. And many of you, are really staying plugged in. Many of you are saying, yo, you know what? Man, that was life altering. And many of you already said, hey, I'm coming back next year. And that's really great because you want to stay plugged in. See, it's not about just a once-off. It's about each one of us saying, you know what? Let me step up. Let me be my best. Let me just really, really take it to the next level. And that to me is what this is all about, right? You didn't come to GYLS just for, fun in the sun in San Diego. No, you came to learn leadership principles, leadership strategies. so that you can make a difference, so that you could ultimately fulfill your purpose in life. And that's really what it's all about. I love this circle because, when we're honest and we're open, the wheel of life, 6 different categories of your life, right? Career, physical, emotional, financial, relationships, spiritual. And 0 to 100. There's 6 pieces of the pie. On a scale of 0 to 100, where 0 is you're absolutely dead in that area, where 100 is, man, you are at your optimal best. Where are you in the 6 areas of your life? Where are you? I mean, and career could be career/school, because I know we have many students, but where are you on these different categories of your life? I mean, if you had to really be honest and you had to shade in each of the pieces of the pie, what would you say? You see, most people's pie is something like this. Certain areas are stronger than others. And there's nothing wrong with that. See, I believe when you are truthful, there's power. That's when you get to really understand, like, whoa, okay, hey, let me do an honest assessment. What areas do I need to grow in? Because now I can see a snapshot, just a snapshot. Because most people are just sleepwalking, unfortunately. Most people wake up, they just, go to work, they go to school, they come home, turn on the TV, get on the phone, go to bed, wake up, eat breakfast, shower, go to school, go to work, come home, turn on the TV, eat dinner, go to bed. And it just becomes a cycle. And what I'm saying is, hey, look, you were born on purpose. Because remember those pictures of those young people before? It's one of those things where you have to understand, whoa, wait a minute. I mean, there's dreams within me. And yeah, sure, life has thrown me some curveballs, but it's not over until I say it's over. And so one of the things I want to share with you is, a couple of things just to remind you, because again, I love what Tony Robbins talks about. Repetition is the mother of skill. And the thing he also says, hey, if you learn something but you're not doing it, it's as though you didn't learn it. And so here's something that I wanted to share with you: empowering your true potential. Number 1, belief, desire. You got to have that belief. You have to have that desire to say, you know what, I'm going to make it. On page 69 of Living with Purpose, the 40-day program for you to maximize your potential, you and your family. On page 69, I actually give you the steps of how to develop your goals affirmation collage. That is so amazing, because it is one of those things where you want to keep it in front of you. You want to keep your goals, your dreams in front of you. It makes a difference. It truly does. And that to me is power. The mirror exercise, we talk about that. Every morning when you wake up after you brush your teeth, look yourself in the mirror, just speak life to you. Speak life to you. Say, what's going to be great about today? What are you going to do to make a difference? And then at night when you brush your teeth, look yourself in the mirror and say, whoa, today was a good day. Or maybe, hey, it was a challenging day, but I stayed in the game. Speak life. There's power in the spoken word. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. So the mirror exercise, you remember that. And then success journal. Listen, success is not a destination. Success is a journey. It's a journey. And I want to encourage you to write in your success journal. Keep a success journal. If you haven't been doing it, maybe you go open up the Living with a Purpose book and make a commitment today to go through the 40 daily assignments. They say it takes between 27 and 32 days to create a habit. Well, I made the book 40 just to give you some extra time to, reinforce those habits. But that could be your success journal, because Living with Purpose is 40 days to empowering you and your family. And that you can use as a success journal. Or you could, hey, here's some questions. If you want to just go for a success journal, a success gratitude journal, here are 3 questions I want to share with you. Question number 1, what was great about today? Every night before you go to bed, write in your success journal, what was great about today? That's number 1. Number 2, what did I learn today? What did I learn today? And number 3, what did I do today to move closer to fulfilling my dreams and my goals? What did I do today to move closer to fulfilling my dreams and my goals? I promise you, you do these 3 things: goals, affirmation collage, the mirror exercise, success journal, man, your belief, your desire, you will just say to yourself, man, I can do this, and I will do this. Number 2, strategy. Move through fear questions. Do you remember the 2 questions I shared during GYLS? When you're standing in front of fear, that's when you got to make a choice. Either you step into your fear and you go for it, or you step back and you have a life of regrets. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is in that critical moment when fear pops up, fear of uncertainty, fear of failure, fear of what will people say, fear of rejection. It's in that critical moment. Either you step into your fears and you walk in your greatness, or you step back and you have a life of regrets. And so I got those two questions. Remember, question number one, when you're standing in front of fear, ask yourself question number one, what's the worst thing that can happen? My philosophy is, as long as I'm not going to die, I'm going to go for it. That's question number one. Question number two, if I don't take action, what will it cost me? How many of you listening to this webinar right now, you can relate to me when I say would have, should have, could have, but didn't? Do you know what I'm talking about? I know you do. That's not the way to live your life. So these two questions will help you move through fear. Question number one, what's the worst thing that can happen? I want you to really think, what's the worst thing that happen if I take action? As long as you're not going to die, I say go for it. Question number two, if I don't take action, what will it cost me? Those are two powerful questions because you don't want to live a life of regrets. So that's strategy number one. Strategy number two, celebrate your daily blessings. Do you understand? There's greatness within you. Success is not a destination. Success is a journey. Success is a journey. And for you to be the best of the best, it requires you stepping up. It requires you being your best. But also it requires you recognizing your daily successes, right? You know, your daily successes. What you focus on becomes your reality. And so again, I encourage you, write in your success journal and then celebrate. Do something good for you. You deserve it. It's not easy out here and you're in the game. And so you need to celebrate yourself. Number three, community. Les Brown says you are the sum total of the 5 closest people in your life. Who's in your life? Who's speaking into your ear? Right? I mean, who do you listen to? Who do you really take advice from? Are they uplifting you or are they maybe tearing you down? Are they affirming you or are they telling you you can't do something? See, I'm talking about accountability partners, and that's why staying connected with this momentum, right? The GYLS momentum calls and staying, connected with our Facebook group page is so important because it's allowing you to, step up your game. You want to be around high achievers. You want to be around people that are making a positive difference. And so determine who your accountability partners are. That is important. And then seek some good fellowship with them. Iron sharpens iron. You want to connect with them because it makes a difference. And then, I talked about the Living with Purpose challenge, for creating positive habits. This to me, listen, I'm just saying, you have the resource. You have it. I mean, for the Anthony Robbins Foundation, say, you know what, we want to make an investment. We want these young people to, it's not just a once-off. Hey, let's give them this workbook. I would love to hear some of your testimonies. And many of you already contacted me, and I want to say thank you. Many of you talked to me about, hey, creating your mission statement, how that was a game changer. Many of you shared with me how, your wheel of life and how, man, now you have more clarity. Some of you even took pictures of your goals collage and shared it with me. I appreciate that. And so I would love to hear from everyone. Listen, there's no judgment, or post it in the Facebook group page. There's something about when we celebrate each other, it just really becomes powerful. And so one of the things I want to say is, look, I believe each one of us has the potential to be phenomenal. And I say the inspired millionaire. When I talk to many young people, I just got back from, where was I? Costa Rica. And then just this week, I was in the United States. I was in New York, Delaware, Pennsylvania, then flew to North Carolina, then flew to New Jersey, and then was back in Philadelphia, and then back in New York, all right, giving presentations. And one of the things I've come to realize is that, young people, there's so much. And there's so much for you to do. And the Inspired Millionaire, that's just something that, I developed with the gentleman, Dr. Matt Menino. And one of the things we talked about is, what's so beautiful is that an Inspired Millionaire is one that, definitely, generates income, right? But also then says, I'm not here to hoard it. I want to make a difference. I want to be a blessing to others. But one of the things we realize is that right now in the United States and throughout the world, a lot of people are dying too early or die too soon, or they become ill, or they live too long, they outlive their money, right? And listen, I mean, we got to talk about this. Do you understand the number one reason for why people file bankruptcy in the United States? Did you know that the number one reason for why people file bankruptcy in the United States is unpaid medical bills? Did you know that? Right now, according to the Wall Street Journal, they say 76% of families are living paycheck to paycheck, regardless of income. And so what I'm just saying to you is I want you to understand there's greatness within you. And yes, money is important. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm here to say it's all about you fulfilling your purpose. It's all about you really understanding that, hey, I'm going to use money as a vehicle to be a blessing to others. I'm going to inspire others, right? That's the inspired millionaire. I want to make a difference. When I first day of GYLS, I said, how many of you want to be doctors? Hands went up. How many want to be engineers? How many want to be attorneys? How many want to be professional athletes? How many want to be engineers? How many want to be teachers, right? How many want to own their own business? And hands went up. But what I want you to understand is whatever your goal is, whatever your gifts are, your talents, it's not about just for you. It's about you making a difference for other people. And so, this is something that I really want to share because I think I have to say this, for young people, listen, how money works, the compound interest, and look at what Albert Einstein said. The most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. The person that understands compound interest will earn it. The person that does not will pay it. I mean, and, I'm not going to go into this, but I just want you to, if you don't know about compound interest, basically, you simply divide the number 72 by the expected rate of return to determine the number of years it will take for your money to double. And this graph right here is very important. I mean, for me, it's just like, whoa, are you serious? Right? If you get a 4% return, you start off with $10,000 at age 29, that 4% return turns into 40,000 because it doubles. 4 goes into 72 18 times. So it means your money will double every 18 years. And so you look at that. 18 years from 29 is 47. Your 10,000 turns into 20. Another 18 years, 65 turns into 40,000, right? Well, check this out. If you get a 12% return, go all the way to the far right column, you get a 12% return. 12 goes into 72 6 times. So every 6 years, your money doubles. And so look at what happens. You start with the same $10,000 at age 29, but at 65, now you have $640,000 because you have a greater return on your money. Same amount of money you start with, but you let your money just stay there, compound interest. And Tony Robbins, phenomenal, right? Money, winning the game. I mean, when I read that 64-page book, I was like, whoa. I mean, amazing. Then I was invited to be one of his wealth mastery presenters. And I was like, man, my mind was just like flowing. And so I'm just sharing this. And again, if I can be any resource, do not hesitate. You can Marlon Smith at successbychoice.com, Marlon Smith, SMITH at successbychoice.com. All one word, successbychoice.com. And I share that because I just know right now so many families are struggling. But you as young people, listen, you can start now, start early. You can ask so many people. You ask your parents, you ask your uncles, your aunts, you ask your teachers, and you ask them this question of them. Have they ever said to themselves, if I only knew back then what I know now? I already know the answer. And all adults have said that. Man, if I only knew back then what I know now, man, my life would be so different. Well, what I'm saying to you is your life can be different, young people, because you're staying plugged in. You're listening to this. And that to me is so important. So I just want to really, really applaud you. But again, rule of 72, compound interest. You need to go ahead, watch some YouTube videos on it, and then, talk to some people in your city, right? Talk to, some people that you respect. And again, if I can be a resource, feel free to send me an email. I'd love to connect with you. But this is important because what you do today will dictate where you'll be tomorrow. And really, look at that. Look at that. Man, I love this picture because, man, this is everything. Huh? The sun is rising. This man is like, yes, boom, freedom. I'm living life on my terms, right? I'm not, handcuffed. I'm not shackled to doing something I don't want to do. I meet so many friends of mine right now are working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to play on the weekend. That's why we have this thing called TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But the thing is listen, it doesn't have to be like that. See, go back to, again, remember the child? Remember that picture I showed you as a child? If you were, a young kid and somebody came to you and said, what do you want to do? I grant you 3 wishes. What would your wishes be? Man, the kid would tell you, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I want that. But sometimes, again, as we get older, teenagers, young adults in our 20s, 30s, it's like our dreams, our goals are strangled. And I just want to remind you that, no, you were born on purpose. You have certain gifts, you have certain talents that nobody else has. You have it. You were born on purpose. There's something you're born to do, something that you're here on earth to create. And I'm challenging you to step up. I'm challenging you to go for it, right? I've given you so many strategies. I've reminded you of the truth, but now you got to take action. Action is the name of the game. And so with that, that's what, ultimately, that's where you want to be. Look at this picture. What does it mean to you? What does it say to you? I mean, to me, it's like, freedom. I did it. Thank you. I'm grateful. See, gratitude is the ultimate wealth. An attitude of gratitude, being grateful, man, that is the ultimate wealth. Man. And so to me, this is what it's all about. It really is. And right? Living with purpose. And, my colleague, Chris, Purpose as Success by Choice, if there's anything I can do, please do not hesitate. Send an email, right? Go to our website. You can, just, put a little note there. But I just want you to know I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to win it. And if there's anything I can do, hey, let's get it done. Because what I realize is that talk is cheap. You can tell a lot about a person by looking at their calendar and their checkbook, right? The way you spend your time, the way you spend your money, it really shows what you value. And so I'm putting it out there. If there's anything I can do, send me an email. You can send it to purpose@successbychoice.com and the message will get to me. But I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, your time is now. Because when you really think about it, who you're competing against time. The clock is ticking. It never stops. Believe me, it never stops. And so what I'm here to say is, let's get busy, because what you do today will dictate where you'll be tomorrow. And for those of you that are really, committed to saying, you know what, hey, I want to, learn how to be an entrepreneur. I want to, be a business owner. I've got something called sayyestoday.com. And you can see the 2 is the number 2. And so come on, check it out. It's complimentary, but I just realized right now, I feel like I've been shifted, to say, you know what, I want more people to live their purpose. And so I want to teach, and I got some phenomenal individuals that have partnered with me to say, you know what, let's share, let's help young people. And our goal, our mission, right? YES stands for Young Entrepreneur Success. We want to teach young people how to create their online businesses, right? How to just, really take their gifts and their talents to take it to the next level. And so if you're interested, go to Say Yes Today, right? sayyestoday.com. And you can opt in, and, we'll give you some, complimentary information. All right. We just want to, really pour into people, because what we're finding is that so many people are struggling, right? So many people don't have purpose. So many people really don't understand the leadership principles or winning strategies. And ultimately, a lot of people are selling themselves short. So many people are just, getting a job, right? Just to pay the bills. I see it day in and day out, and it doesn't have to be like that. And so if we have more young people tapping into their talents, tapping into their gifts, right? And are able to turn their gifts into a way to generate income by blessing others, right? Through their own business, man, it's a win-win-win. Because as I said, I have so many friends that are working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to play on the weekend. But check this out. If you focus on what is your play, what do you love to do? What are your hobbies? What comes easy to you? What would you do for free? I mean, that's your assignment. I want you to write it down. you know, okay, what is your play? What do you love to do? What are your hobbies? What comes easy to you? What would you do for free? I want you to answer those questions because I want you to focus. I want you to write those down, because by you writing them down, what's going to happen is you're going to start saying, yo, okay, all right. Yeah, I like to do this. Man, I'm creative in this way. Whoa, yeah. And then what's going to happen is we're going to help you say, you know what? How can you turn your gifts, your talents into a online business? How can you touch the world by your gifts and your talents? All right. And again, you know, as you know, Tony Robbins talks about modeling. There are a lot of people who are doing phenomenal things through the internet. I mean, the internet is a game changer. And so now you can immediately touch people, you know, through your gifts and your talents. But let's be honest, where do you begin? You know, is it a website? Do you know, social media? Which you know, social media is you? What's the best one for your mission, your purpose? I mean, things are changing so fast, it's kind of hard. And so we want to get through all that, you know, that stuff, minutia, and just kind of say, hey, here's a framework for you to be blessed. And we're going to have a 30-day challenge and a lot of fun. So anyways, if you're interested, go to www.sayyestoday.com because it makes a difference. All right. And again, you know, I'm just here to serve. I'm here to say, you know what? Time is now. Because when it's all said and done, I share this quote wherever I go. And this, you know, I spoke, I don't know, 7 different college, university campuses and a corporation, you know, this past week. And it, you know, it doesn't matter if I'm speaking to 500 or 5,000. I always conclude with this quote because I think this is it. It says, a vision without action is just a dream. I want you to say it to yourself. A vision without action is just a dream. Let that sink in. Action without a vision is just merely a passing of time. Action without a vision is just merely a passing of time. You're just taking action. There's no vision. But here's it. But a vision with action can change the world. But a vision with action can change the world. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you here to do? What is your vision? What is your vision for your life? You know, as you know, and I'll conclude with this story, 1953, researchers went to Harvard University. They asked the graduating class one question. They said, what are your goals? 55% of the graduating seniors of Harvard University had a vague idea of their goals and dreams. Some of them said, I want to be rich. I want to live the good life. Those are vague goals. 55% of them. 42% had more specific goals. They said, I want to work for this company. I want to drive this type of car. I want to live in this city. But guess what? Their goals weren't written down. They were just up in their mind. Only 3% of that graduating class, only 3 out of 100, 3%, only 3% had their goals written down. And that 3% reviewed their goals 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, before they went to bed. 30 years later, 1983, researchers came back to Harvard and they were shocked at what they discovered. The 3% that had their goals written down, that 3% was, check this out, was more wealthy than the 97% of their classmates collectively. Spiritually, they were more in tune. Physically, they were better in shape. Spiritually, they were more connected and their relationships were more healthy. Here's what the researchers concluded. It wasn't about intelligence. They had similar IQs. It wasn't about being lucky. They had similar breaks in life. The only difference between the 3% and the 97% of their peers, check this out. The only difference that the researchers concluded, the only difference was that the 3% had focus. They had what? Focus. When I read that study, I said to myself, ooh, I want to be a 3%er. And so one of the things that I'm very, very clear about, every single day, I look at my goals collage. And, you know, this is the first thing you can see. I hope you can see. Can you see that, Serge? Okay, you know, and everybody else. I mean, this is a Father's Day card from my daughter and my son, my Jade and Corey, and Sarita, my wife. And even on the back of it, I have a picture of my mom. Okay, she just turned 77. Okay, I'm putting my mom's age out on the world. Mom, I love you, and you look good, Mom. You look good. 77, August 26th. This is my lady, okay? And that's Jade and Corey. But I just want to show you this because for me, this is what it's all about. Check this out. First thing I have, can you see that? What am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? I got all the things I'm grateful for. You see what I'm saying? Because life is hard, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't one to sugarcoat a thing, right? I'm gonna tell it like it is. And then what I have pictures of some of my dreams, my goals. I've got my different categories of my life: financial, spiritual, relationship, health. I've got, more pictures, right? I've got what makes me special. See, I want you to create this. We got too many young people who don't know how special they are because they allow social media, they allow the bullies, they allow the naysayers to say, oh, you're not this, you're not that. No, you are special, but you got to focus on it. That's why I do it, right? That's why I talk about the mirror exercise. Ooh, I love you. Mwah. I know right now some of you are like, you are crazy. And yeah, I am a little crazy, but you know why? Because I'm excited about life. You ain't going to stop me, Jack, because someone's opinion of me does not have to become my reality. See, now y'all got me fired up now. Oh, shucky. All right. And so, look at that. I got pictures, man. And what do I value most? What do you value most? Huh? I mean, this to me is what it's all. Okay, check it out. I got my wedding vows, y'all. Got my wedding vows in my goals affirmation collage. But guess what? I also have my wife's wedding vows, Sarita's. So I can remind her what she said she was going to do. Okay, let's keep it real. All right, I know Serge got his girlfriend. Serge, get her to put it in writing, okay? I'm killing myself. I mean, I don't care what y'all think. I am funny. But listen, on the string, I am just saying, on the real talk, it is about you understanding there's greatness in you. So I'm challenging you. Put your goals collage together. Mine's in a binder because I can carry it with me, right? Every time I look at that picture, it just, boom, I get centered. When I look at my wife and I'm, in my pictures of my wife, my wedding, and I get centered. What are you doing to build yourself up? Some of you, hey, maybe it's taking a walk, maybe it's drawing, maybe it's, meditating, maybe it's praying, maybe it's listening to some music, maybe it's watching a motivational video. You got to stay focused. You got to every day. We don't brush our teeth just once a day. So every single day we got to go ahead and be on it. And so that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. You can see I'm pretty excited, to say the least. But I want you to understand there's greatness within you. I'm saying this because there was a time in my life when I had low self-esteem. There's a time in my life when I was influenced by negative peer pressure. There's a time in my life when I had a 1.6 grade point average. But what happened? I was able to turn it around. I was blessed with some mentors. I had people in my life like the Kathy Buckleys, right? Like the Anons, like Felix, like Serge, like Scott Rankin, like our other team leaders like Chuck, and I can go down the line, huh? But I'm here to say this. Each one teach one, each one reach one. And one of the things I really got very clear on is when you focus on others, when you focus on being a blessing to someone else, and you take the shift off of you, and you focus on others, man, life, you see life through a different lens. The way to have more love is you be more loving, right? The way to have more freedom is you help others experience freedom. And so I just want to look you in the eye, eyeball to eyeball. I just want to say, look, I love you. And I'm challenging you to step up. I'm challenging you right now. Let this day be the day. Look, I watch motivational. You go to YouTube, there are so many powerful motivational videos, right? This guy, Eric Thomas, I mean, he is the real deal, man. I love his videos. And there's so many others. But you just type in motivation videos, right? And everyone, they all claim, oh, this is the best motivational video of the century, and I love it, right? But go ahead and just watch them. Get on a routine, especially at night, before you go to bed, watch or listen or do some reading, but put some 15, 20, 30 minutes, put some positive information in your mind. Because I'm here to tell you, your subconscious never sleeps. And so I am Marlon Smith, reminding you there's greatness within you. Today's your day. Live with purpose, because your success is your choice. Serge, I turn it over to you.
Marlon, you killed it, brother. You killed it as always, man. We got all kinds of people commenting right off the bat when they were saying where they're from. We've got Kelly from St. Petersburg, Huang, my brother, from Canada.
Whoa.
Lexi from Moraga, California. She said she was moving into college and she decided to sit down for this. Awesome. Got Kayla from Seattle, Gianna from San Diego, Zoe from the University of Delaware, Sierra Armando Beach, Florida, Harrison Groom from New Zealand. Bro, you're still on, man? What time is it? Because it's 8:40 p.m. Eastern, like Toronto time.
Wow.
So who knows, man? And then I have a question, and it's an anonymous question, but it definitely speaks to everyone. The question is, how do you deal with negative friends? I'm trying to stay positive and be outgoing, but my friends keep holding me back. I don't want to leave them because I don't have any other friends.
Wow, that's real talk, and I want to say thank you for putting it out there. How do you deal with negative friends? And I think here's the thing. What I want you to understand is when two people connect, let's say you're positive and you got a negative friend, whoever's more committed to their energy, they're going to affect the other person. So what I'm saying is you have to be super positive to pull somebody up, right? Or they have to be super negative to pull you down. So whoever's more committed, will influence the other person. So having said that, what I want you to do is, look, remember apple, orange? Remember I did that illustration, right? If you're an apple, you squeeze an apple, what type of juice do you get? Apple juice. If you have an orange, you peel the orange, squeeze it, what type of juice you get? Orange juice. And then I said this, I said, doesn't matter if you're an apple or an orange, you as an individual can't give what you don't have. So the first step to leadership is self-leadership. You got to first, my friend, you got to say, you know what? Let me build me up. Let me build my strength. Let me build my leadership muscle, right? And what's going to happen, I'm going to be honest with you, then you have to make a choice. Because here's what I've come to realize, we're all on a journey. We are all on a journey. And yes, even some of my friends, I love my friends, but I realized that for some of my friends, I might have to love them from a distance. I mean, this is real talk, and I want to encourage you, what I always do when I, have dealt with my friends, and there's been an issue, there's been some kind of conflict or, difference of opinion. I don't do it in the group. I don't, talk to, all of them at once. Cause all it takes is one person and, no, I usually go one-on-one and I just share. See, when there's not a lot of, what do you call it, spectators, when there's not a lot of people watching, you can really have some intimate conversations, some deep conversations where, look, you can just say, look, man, you're my friend, you're one of my best friends. I really appreciate you, but let me just tell you what offended me. Or let me tell you what, I don't agree with, or let me tell you where I'm going, and I want us to go together, but having that one-on-one conversation, to me, that's the key. That's the key. And then you're putting it out there. You're sharing. This is where I am. I appreciate you. I value you. But, sometimes, you got to remember, some people come in our life for a season. Some come in our life for a reason. And then there are even some of those that come in our life for treason. And so, it's one of those things also, I realize, like, sometimes I'm planting seeds, but I have to love you from a distance. And it doesn't mean that the door is closed and locked. It just means right now, hey, we're on two different paths. Does that make sense? Right? We're on two different paths. And so, I just share with you, let me tell you something. Listen, who your friends are now, I'm assuming that, you might be 17, 18, so on and so forth, but you're a teenager. And, I had lifelong friends who I thought, when I was, in my, teenager years and many of them I don't even speak with today. And but what I want you to do as a leader is have that one-on-one conversation and connect with that person and share and just be like, yo, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. And this concerns me. I'm seeing some things that you're doing and, I just want to share, because sometimes people are just sleepwalking, not very conscious. And then after you share, you've done all you can. right? Now it's on that person, whether or not they want to, take what you said and, maybe, do some things a little different or not. But we all have free will. But the thing is, you got to stay focused on your dream. You got to stay focused on, what you value, right? Because not everybody's going to value that. And it's okay. But stay true to you. And so and then what I want to say, last thing, hey, those friends, maybe, reach out to the Facebook group, GYLS. We talked about family in San Diego, and people are like, man, I love you, man, and, all the hugs and all, well, hey, you can, now y'all are so good with technology. You can tweet, you can pick up the phone. I know many GYLS alum, they go visit each other. So, don't oversleep, don't overlook, the fact that you got now, Serge was telling me it's like 800 and some, alumni, that are connected in the Facebook group. That's a lot of people. And I'm sure there's somebody in your city or at least your state, right? Or your country, depending on where you live. But again, with tech, you guys can get on Zoom, you guys can form your own mastermind, right? You guys can get on Skype, you guys can go fly and connect with each other. Just realize that, we are very blessed. And I know the majority of people are not, so like-minded in their, but they have the possibility. But you, my friend, and all of us listening to this, webinar, you have to understand that you've got some new friends who are committed to making a positive difference with their life. Serge, you can ask him. He came through the program. I know he's very mature now and very good looking and all that. But man, I remember him when he had pimples and, I'm just teasing. But my point is that, he came in, he, got excited. He came back. He then came back as a youth leader. And then now he's a team leader. And now he's running this momentum, and that just says, whoa, anything's possible. You can do this. So don't feel like, man, I'm locked in. No, you're not. And so again, I say, hey, do your best one-on-one with the conversation. And then, if your friends, don't change, you got new friends here. So that's my word of wisdom.
That was perfect. That was an incredible answer to that question. That was fantastic. For those of you watching, I've posted in a couple different places. If you have a question, now's the time. I've got a question for you, Marlon, and
sure.
We're 10 minutes before we hit an hour. So yeah. I think we're only going to queue up one more question, maybe two if they're quick.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching, if you want a question, post it on YouTube in the chat. You can post it. You can just send it to me directly. And from now, I've got a question for you, Marlon. Just give me a second. So Marlon, if you had to break it down to just some simple steps, what are the key things that we can do to keep the GYLS momentum going? The way that we show up at GYLS is arguably our best self. And when we go home, we want to go forward home, and sometimes it's difficult. So what do you think are the key things that can help us go forward home and keep that best self that we show up at GYLS going all year?
Yeah, I think number one is, these momentum calls are great. However, I also believe that accountability, accountability partners. I talked about that on one slide. Small group accountability. If it's 2, 3, 4, 7, probably no more than 7. But even if it's 3 or 4, from 3 to 4 to 7, and you have those individuals where on a weekly basis, you guys are getting together via Zoom, via Skype, so whatever, right? WhatsApp, but you connecting. And on a weekly basis, you guys are talking about, hey, what your goals are, what you're striving to do. And then, every week you give a report. Hey, man, I'm doing this. This is what I did. We celebrate. Hey, man, I hit this roadblock. I hit this challenge. I don't know where else to go. You see? And so that to me is how you do it. I'm telling you, when I have accountability partners, mastermind, it just takes me to another level, because now I'm being stretched. I'm being, held accountable. So that's the key, Serge, is, because people can get lost in the shuffle, with these momentum calls or Facebook group, but when you got, 3, 4, 5 people on accountability where you can't hide, and we're going to call you out, and in love, because we want the best for you. And it's easy to go backwards. It's easy. Oh, I like that, man. That's cool. It's easy to go backwards. But it's when you are going forward and I say, look, man, I love you enough to tell you, hey, you can do more. It just, you got to step up your game. So that's what I would say, Serge.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
I feel like everyone's just so mesmerized watching that.
It's all good, man. It's all good. But like I said, if anybody has any more questions, you can send it purpose, PURPOSE at successbychoice.com. Just send me a message. I've got some worksheets, some handouts, if you like, I'd be more than happy to share that with you. So I know many of you want to be a speaker and so on and so forth. I've got 7 winning speaker strategies as an ebook. So anyways, any way I can be of service, but I put it on you. I'm not going to come chasing anybody. If you want it, hey, just send me an email and then boom, we can make it happen. So Serge, I want to conclude with this. I just want everyone to understand there's greatness within you, and today is your day. Listen, before you go to bed, do what success journal, right? That's the other thing. Number one, what was great about today? What did I learn today? What did I do today to move closer to fulfilling my dreams and my goals? You answer those 3 questions on a daily basis every night before you go to bed. I promise you, life will take on new meaning. I promise you. Go ahead and get your goals affirmation collage, right? Some people put it up on their wall in their bedroom. Some people put it on their phone. For me, I have it in my binder, but I also have it on my wall. What you focus on becomes your reality. Okay. In the Living with Purpose book, I talk about developing your mission statement. Write your mission statement. Mine is I, Marlon Christopher Smith, see, hear, feel, and know that the purpose of my life is to be a shining, smiling light, enjoying the daily miracles, co-creating with God, growing where I'm better than the previous day, making a difference in our global society, and sharing my love with the world. See, when you have a mission statement, it doesn't have to be all long like mine. It could just be one line with something that's going to anchor you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Marlon Smith reminding you there's greatness within you. Live with purpose because your life matters. Shine your light bright. And remember this, your success is your choice. Stay blessed.